Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to give you my thoughts on 2022's The Accursed. Now, The Accursed starred Sarah Gray. You have Meg Foster in here, a genre vet. You have Mina Savari, who I personally watched the movie for. I am beginning to be quite the avid fan of hers, ranging from movies like a coming-of-age romance like The Loser to the Day of the Dead '08 remake, the South of Hell TV series you heard me talk about. She's covered a lot of ground, a lot of different genres. American Beauty. She's just, Reagan of all things. And The Accursed is one I was eyeing for a while. Somewhat because of the cover. It's a pretty cool ass looking cover, man. But also because I was curious, both nervous for the role she would have in it. Oh, is she just gonna be it for like 5 minutes or 2 minutes or something like that? But if you've heard me talk about horror before extensively, you know that a lot of times call possession, with like the exception of like Evil Dead and hauntings or different ghost type things, aren't really my favorite type of subgenres. And then those kind of things can kind of blend into like demonic, and then of course witchcraft, like this movie primarily is. Um, but this movie showed itself to be a lot more than it seemed, and it gave me an example of another exception I have to not always going for like the witch related films. Except speaking of, I love The Witch, but anyway. Um, I thought this movie was very, very good, actually. It surprised me, which hasn't happened for a while. It went above my expectations a bit. Basically, it's a low key horror film for the most part. Part psychological thriller as well. You have this like deep rooted, you know, ancestry of witches and everything tied to this particular area, both in the woods and kind of the surrounding territory. That ties into the present with some of Sarah Gray's characters, trauma. Sarah Gray, by the way, I liked quite a bit in the Netflix series The Order, which also had, a genre legend like Catherine Isabel, another one of my favorites. Um, but yeah, she's likable here as well, and she's then given the job to, look after this supposedly comatose woman. Again, who has even like deeper rooted ties to what's going on. Um, Little does she know it's kind of connected to a lot more than she realizes. She thinks it's just gonna be like an off the grid, easy job. Given her circumstances in life and everything, her friend's a little bit more cautious about it. Played by Sarah Dumont, who is pretty likable in her part as well. This is also, by the way, from the director of Willy's Wonderland, which is a movie I'm quite fond of too. It's one of my favorite Nick Cage films, and it's something that outdid Five Nights at Freddy's to me. So that was a plus that his hand is in this, and I could see he has a certain visceralness about him that I like quite a bit. And then the job is given by a woman named Alma. Alma being played by Mina Savari, of course. By the way, Meg Foster is the comatose woman. You see her in kind of another portion of the film as well. But yeah, Mina Savari is this kind of kind of just like seemingly like snooty, stuck up, very conserved, strict woman who gives her the job and just seems like very overbearing. But again, there's very much more going on. I'm trying to give you an idea of what the story's about, but it's hard to talk about much more of it without giving stuff away. Um, I've seen some negative reviews of it, either say, oh, it's boring, or oh, it was low budget, or not really much went on until yada yada. Um, but I don't know. I didn't mind the characters, and even as it went, especially towards like the later part of the film, it actually gets very, very disturbing. There's some CG with some of the visuals, like on the poster there when that happens, but it never really looks that bad to me. And like I was getting at, though, it gets very disturbing and unsettling, quite a bit more violent than I was expecting. There's something involving particular like ritual thing that a character ends up doing with someone's face area, we'll just say. That I won't be forgetting for a while. And throughout, it maintains like a pretty decently solid atmosphere and just vibe to it. I also thought it was just shot fairly well, the framing and everything, the lighting of it, the coloring. I thought was all very good. Um, Savari has a very key role in it. She's not in it much at first. She has this one scene, and then plays a very, very key part later in the movie. But I think it's maybe the creepiest I've ever seen Mina Savari. She is fucking good in this. um, but yeah, I really loved her part in it. I like the ending. It's not conventional. It's a bit ballsy in some regard, which is nice to see in a story of this kind of approach in the first place. I would hope it won't be quite so cliche and pretty. I guess I like Sarah Gray as well. And yeah, I don't know. This one just really jibed with me. I honestly wish I would have gotten more attention. I wish I would have watched it in 2022 or 2021, whenever it released exactly. Because I'm also on the verge of loving it. I've already ordered the DVD. So yeah, it's one of my maybe one of my new favorites. Honestly, yeah. If I had to rate it, I'm giving it like an A minus A. I liked it that much. I really did. Now it's a pretty serious film. There's not like a lot of camp to it. There's some like little touches of dark humor, but it takes itself very seriously, and I think for me at least it worked. It worked really really well. But yeah, so please do give it a look. It's on Peacock for free right now. Otherwise, DVD or Blu-rays aren't really that expensive online either. But yeah, I guess think if you've seen it, if you haven't, do check it out. Have an open mind, but this is definitely a hidden gem. I really really dug it. I kind of loved parts of it too. Mia Savari is great. So, let me guys thought about it. Follow me on TikTok, of course, Twitter, Instagram. See ya.